finding if you want to be sitting on a pillow, if you've got some tight hip flexors or a tight low back, always feel free to use whatever things you need to support you for your practice. And we'll be using blocks later on. Have your strap close, and of course have your mat and your, if you're sitting on a pillow, blankets, your eye pillow for later on when we get to our final relaxation. But maybe just rocking ourselves a little bit from side to side or from front to back, beginning to slow things down, beginning to ground ourselves, preparing ourselves for our practice today, for our movement, for our stretching, for our strengthening the body, stretching through the body, through the muscles. And sitting ourselves up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and start off with some torso circles. So let's go ahead and circle this out. Or circle this around, not out, but circling it around. Some nice torso circles here. And then let's go ahead and circle that the other way. Good. Feels good on those glutes too. Very nice. Good, and then let's go ahead and bring this back to center. Again, sit it up nice and tall, lengthening up through our spine and lengthening up through the crown of the head. Good, let's inhale and sweep our arms up. So let's get a nice sun breath in here. And exhale it out. And inhale and sweep this up. And exhale this out. Good, go ahead and roll our shoulders. So let's roll those shoulders back. And then go ahead and roll those shoulders forward. And again, roll that back. And roll that forward. And shake those arms out. Inhale it up again. Let's sweep this up. And exhale it out. And inhale it up. As we exhale, let's go ahead and drop our left hand to our right thigh and our right hand behind us. Let's go ahead and twist that here. Go ahead and keep that there and breathe in that twist. Need to fix this. My little timer thing for my computer keeps popping up like during yoga all the time saying, time to restart the computer. We're going to restart in 5, 4, 3. And I'm like, stop. No. So I need to fix that. Go ahead and twist that. Very nice. Let's bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale it out. And inhale and sweep this up. And let's go ahead and drop our right hand to our left thigh and our left hand behind us. And let's hold this twist here. Ah, so good. Breathing deeply in this final twist on this side. Good, and then let's go ahead and bring this back to center. Inhale and sweep this up. And then just exhale, a little twist to the side. Inhale back to the center. And exhale, twist to the other side. Let's do this a few times each side. Inhale up. And exhale, twist. And inhale up. And exhale, twist. Good. Inhale up, back to center. And let's go ahead and release our arms down. Roll our shoulders out again. Good. Roll that back and roll that forward. Inhale and sweep this up. Let's drop our right hand down and reach over with that left. So let's go ahead and keep our left glute, our left hip, our left leg kind of planted onto the floor, lengthening through this, lengthening through that left side of the body. And inhale and sweep this up. And then go ahead and drop this down and reach this over. Good. Now we're keeping our right side down, our right glute, right leg, right hip, lengthening through that right side of the body. Very nice. And inhale and sweep this up. And then release this down. If you have your blocks within reaching distance. Go ahead and put them out in front of you because we're going to do a hinge forward. So let's go ahead and inhale and sweep this up, and then exhale, hinging forward. You don't have to use blocks. I like to use the blocks because I like the height here. Because of the tightness in my hip flexors and in my glutes, it makes it a lot easier, or more manageable. I get more mobility doing that. You don't have to. You can bring your hands on the floor, but make sure if your hands are on the floor that you are not rounding your spine, that you're leading with that chin and that chest. That's tight. I like the blocks. Just keeping this here. Inhale it deeply and exhale it. Very good. And then sitting ourselves back up tall again. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Let's drop our right hand down again. Reach over, and maybe we can get over a little bit further. Inhale, lift this up. Drop our left hand down again and reach over, and maybe getting a little bit further. And inhale and sweep this up. Let's exhale, clasp our hands behind us. Now, if your shoulders are still tight, chest is still not open, feel free to use a strap. You can hold a strap here and use that. Otherwise, you're clasping the hands or clasping your wrist, like you can hold your wrist as well, or you've got that strap. And sitting ourselves up tall, let's go ahead and look over to the right and look over to the left. Back to center, drop that chin to chest. And lift that head center. Good, go ahead and release those arms, shake that out. Inhale and sweep this up. And exhale, release this down. We're gonna look to the right again. So go ahead and look over to the right. Think about that chin going over towards the shoulder. And then look to the left again. Maybe it can go a little further. It's because we're not holding our arms behind us. Maybe you've got a little more mobility here. And bring this back to center. Drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. Drop our chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And drop that chin to chest. Lift that head to center. Let's do some half neck circles here. So let's go ahead and drop that chin back to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Taking this from side to side. Right here. Very nice. Just nice half neck circles here. And still sitting it up tall with our spine. Good. That's working your core. Very nice. Drop that chin to chest, lift that head to center, roll our shoulders back, and roll that forward. Let's inhale and sweep our arms up, clasp our hands at the top, exhale, press our palms towards the ceiling. Go ahead and make some space here in your ribs, between those ribs for the lungs, for our breathing, our big breath, as we're lengthening up through those arms. Let's go ahead and take a big deep inhale here. And big exhale, sigh out. Big deep inhale here. And big exhale, sigh out. Again, big deep inhale here. And big exhale, sigh out. Good. Bring our arms out in front of us. Take those soft hands, rotate wrists, rotate the other way. Very good. Open that up and release that down. Roll our shoulders back and roll that forward and shake that out. Very nice. Now, if you're sitting on something, you can move that out of the way, because now we're going to be working towards our lower body, warming up our lower body. And we want to go ahead and take our legs as wide as our hips, or as wide as your mat, or you can take them wider. Or you can have it narrower, but we just want our feet kind of wide. And let's go ahead and drop, drop those knees from side to side. Oh, it's a hip flexor day. I even did extra, I was like, I'm gonna make it a not hip flexor day today. I did some extra stretches before this. Nope. I'm like, oh, did that make it worse? No, it just woke them up. They woke up too early. Good. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves in our nice zigzag right here. Our right leg is nice and zigzag. Sit ourselves up tall. Let's twist over to the left first. So a big tall twist to the left. And then we're gonna do our nice big twist to the right. So a nice deep twist to the right. I love this one. If you've got extremely flexible spine, hips, hip flexor, then maybe your inner thigh is pressed into the floor. Otherwise, your glutes are lifted, or your glute is lifted, your inner thigh is lifted, that hip is lifted. Yeah, if both your glutes are flat on the floor right now, then you are hyper flexible. You got some hyper flexibility going on there. Oh, and let's breathe deeply in this nice big twist. And you can, just like when we do our chair, where we use that chair for leverage, you can use the floor for leverage here, and you can go as deep into this spinal twist as is comfortable for you. Or even comfortably uncomfortable. That really nice deep twist. Remembering to breathe into that. And let's go ahead and bring it back to center, and we're going to twist it quick for 4. So let's take this for 4 and center. It's 3 and center. It's 2 and center. And last 1 and back to center. Very nice. All right, so we've got our zigzag here. Let's keep our zigzag, and let's go ahead and twist or rotate our torso, like this part of our body, our torso right over that front leg and hinge this forward. You can come forward on your hands, you can be on your elbows, or you can be all the way forward. But we're just getting a nice tiny itty bitty baby pigeon here. It's a really good hip stretch. Very nice. And then let's release that and sit this back and take our legs up, and let's windshield wiper those legs again from side to side. Taking that from side to side. Good, let's go ahead and keep that left leg zigzagged in front. And sit that up tall, so super tall. Twist to the right first, so a tall twist. Tall twist, tall twist. Good. And then let's get our big twist to the left. Oh yeah, that's good. And again, use that floor for leverage. Or if you're even close to a wall, you can use the wall for leverage too, or like a window sill, you can, ooh, that's good. You can twist that. Oh, and breathe. Let's breathe deeply into this. Trying to get that deep twist. Comfortably uncomfortable. Or maybe this just feels extremely good, but breathing. And let's go ahead and bring that back to center, and let's go quick for 4. Let's take this for 4 and center. It's 3 and center. It's 2 and center. And last 1. Ooh, and back to center. Good. Got our zigzag legs. Let's go ahead and take our torso right over that front leg. And we will hinge it forward. So either on those hands, on those elbows, or all the way forward. And remembering, if you remember what you did on the other side, if you were on your hands on your elbows, trying to do the same thing on both sides. I think I was up on my hands on the other side. Oh. Breathing, stretching into this. And then let's go ahead and press ourselves up. Let's lean ourselves back, go into some windshield wipers again. Just a few more here. A few more windshield wipers. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. Now it's definitely warmed up. Good, good. All right, let's go ahead and take our legs into a nice boat. So we've got our legs out in front of us, our knees bent, heels are pressed into the floor, And let's go ahead and lean ourselves back. So reaching through our arms, leaning, keeping our shoulders away from our ears, trying not to round that too much. Nice lean back here. So we're fully engaging that core. Let's go ahead and hold this boat pose here for 3 breaths. Let's inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And inhale it deeply and exhale it out. And inhale it deeply and exhale it out. Good. Let's take this into a simple cross leg. Sit this up and hinge this forward. Enjoy that hinge. Oh my goodness, that feels good. That is a good hinge today. Woo-hoo. Very nice. Good, let's go ahead and release that. We're going to take ourselves back again and I'm trying to figure out, let's go with our hands behind us and we're going to go into our reverse table. So let's place our feet into the floor. Fingers are facing towards our feet, towards our toes. And let's go ahead and lift our pelvis up towards the sky. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Love this one too. So good. I love this because I'm feeling it very much in my wrists and in my biceps and my arms today. I like that. And then strengthening up into that pelvis, into those glutes. Feet are strong, gripping into the floor. That neck is neutral, so you're slightly looking up. You can be looking forward or slightly up at ceiling, but not up above you. So you don't want to crunch that head. But we're holding this nice, strong reverse table. And not forgetting to breathe here, not forgetting to use that breath in this strengthening pose. If those arms start to shake or glutes start to shake or legs start to shake, that's okay. That's very normal. It's just muscle reaction. That's okay. Part of the strengthening process. Good. Keeping this here. Just a few more breaths. Or if you start to get the tingles, like your hands are falling asleep, because for some reason mine are today. I'm like, oh, what's going on? And let's go ahead and slowly drop that pelvis down. Simple cross leg. Sit this up and hinge this forward. Take that forward again. Now we're going to go into a reverse plank. Or if you don't feel like doing the reverse plank today, you can do that table that we just did, that reverse tabletop. Otherwise, we're going to take our legs nice and long. Fingers are facing towards those feet again. And we're going to lift our pelvis up. So go ahead and lift this up. If this is not available to you today, then go ahead and go back into that reverse table. It's the same thing. This is a little more challenging. It's a little more challenging for that core, for those glutes, for those arms, because you have a long lever here. And because you're not as supported with your feet, your heels are pressed into the floor, but basically that's it. You're having to use a lot more of that upper body and your core and your glutes to lift that torso up, to lift that pelvis up. But the neck is the same, it's neutral. You're either looking forward or slightly above you, but not way above you. And breathing this here. Just a breath or two more here. Good, let's inhale it. And then let's go ahead and exhale and release that down. Good, simple cross leg again, hinge this forward. Very good. And let's lengthen through our legs this time. So now we get to have nice long legs, flexing through our feet. Let's find our staff pose. So let's sit directly down on top of our glutes. So directly on those sits bones. And let's reach up through our arms. So we find our capital L right here. Nice, strong L, strong arms, strong core, because you're having to lift and having to have those legs out in front of you. So let's breathe it here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And one more time. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Excellent. Good. Release our arms down. Let's bring our right leg in. When bring that right leg in, give that a nice big hug. Hug that leg in. Love that. Let's take that leg over, wrap our left arm around our right leg and get that wonderful twist here. Ooh-wee. Feel this in lots of places. So in the hip, in the glute, in the IT band, and I'm feeling it up in my rib cage, in my lats. I did some back work yesterday, so yeah, definitely feel that. Go ahead and twist it towards the other side, towards the inside. And bring that back to center. Let's take the bottom of our foot to the inside of our thigh. Sit ourselves up tall. Reach our peace fingers, either for our big toe or hand for that shin. And let's go ahead and stretch this, trying to keep that torso open. If you're able to keep that torso open and reach your arm over, then feel free to do that. Today, I feel like I'm rounding, so I'm going to keep my hand on my rib to help open that and to pull my elbow back. So again, listen to your body, where your body's going today. Respect it, but challenge it. Very nice. Good, and then go ahead and release that. Let's find ourselves back into a nice strong snap pose. So sit right on top of those glutes, flexing through our feet, lengthening up through our arms. 3 breaths here. Inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. And inhale it deeply. And exhale it out. Wonderful. Release that down. Let's bring our left leg in. So give our left leg a nice big hug. Hug that, hug that. Let's take our left over right. Wrap that right arm around and let's twist that. Ooh, yeah. Feel that in that glute, hip, hamstring, IT band. Maybe up in your lats, maybe in your low back. Maybe some are completely different. Maybe you're like, I feel it in my index finger. I don't know why, but good. Go ahead and twist it towards the other side. But stranger things have occurred. Good, and then let's go ahead and bring this back to center. Let's take the bottom of that foot to the inside of that thigh. Peace fingers are going to reach for that toe or hand for the shin, depending on your mobility or flexibility. And let's go ahead and stretch the side here. And it's the same on this side. I'm not bringing my arm up because I didn't bring it up on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing on both sides of the body, balancing that out. And release that. Good. We're going to go into gate pose and then into some side balancing poses. And then we'll go into camel's pose. So you will want blocks close to you for when we go into camels, but let's go into gate pose first. So we've got our knees. We're on our knees and let's go ahead and take our right leg off to the side. And we want the toe either to the front or out to the, we want the ankle nice and neutral. So neutral, however that works for you. And let's go ahead and lengthen up through this nice strong gate pose. So reaching up through this, I'm going to actually bring my toe in a little bit more. There we go. So reaching up through this, and let's go ahead and take our left hand, place our left hand on the floor and lifting this up. So we are in a somewhat of a side plank. Now, if you want to take this into a modified half moon by making this into a balanced pose, feel free to begin to lift that leg up and bringing that up, strengthening through that outer hip, that glute. And you can lift and lower. It doesn't have to stay lifted, especially if you are just beginning to work back up onto that strength. Just a little bit of lift and then releasing that is wonderful. but listening to that body. So we've got that nice, long and strong pose right here. Good. If you've got that leg up, go ahead and release that down, and let's reach over. Ooh, reach over to that side. And then go ahead and release that and bring the knee back to center. Let's go ahead and take ourselves to the other side. So take that left leg off to the side, and toe is either to the front, to the side, ankle neutral. Let's lengthen up through our arms right here. So we've got this nice gate pose, and we'll find ourselves into our side plank pose. So bringing this up, and you can have that foot staying down, or if you want to begin to work on strengthening and balance, you can lift that leg or lift and lower that leg. So again, whatever level works for you, but remember, the same thing that you did on the other side, you want to challenge yourself and do it on this side. That's very important. We don't want to just be strong on one side, because being strong on one side means that we are much more prone to injury. So we're working on the same amount of strength on both sides of our body, being laterally equally strong. Good. Breathing it here. And go ahead. If you've got that leg up, release that down. Let's bring ourselves center and reach it over. And then release that. Now, if you want to use both blocks for your camel's pose today, feel free to do that. You can have both blocks, a block on the outside of each of your feet. I think I'm just going to use one block today. And I'm going to put it between my heels. I'm going to place that block right there between my heels. And let's go ahead and lengthen up through those arms. And you don't have to use a block at all. I'm going to go ahead and take that right hand and reach it either back for the block, or if you've got that flexibility, you can have your hand down on your heel, or if you need to, you can also have your hand on your low back, and you can be going back like this. So it's whatever level works the best for you. Lengthening, and at the same time, you can be looking up, you can be looking off to the side, you can be looking down at the floor. The neck is wherever it's most comfortable for you today. In this wonderful supported back bend. These back bends are very good for us. Breathing into it. And let's inhale, lift. And take it to the other side. So that hand's going to go to either that heel, that block, or the low back, the sacrum. And you can either be looking up, off to the side, or down. And breathing. And let's inhale and lift this. And release our arms. If you've got that block behind you, go ahead and move that. Let's take that to the front. Bring ourselves down onto our heels and bring ourselves forward. So we're kind of in a nice little modified kind of child's pose here, with that forehead on the block or on your hands that are on the block. Very good. Oh, that feels good on the fronts of my feet. And then release that. And you can place those blocks where you want them. But when we get to our sun salutations, we're going to go onto all fours right now. We're going to go into some cat and cow. So we've got our shoulders over our wrists. We've got our hips over our knees. Let's go ahead and drop our belly to the floor. Inhale. Round our spine. Exhale. Drop that belly. Inhale. Round that spine. Exhale. Drop that belly. Inhale. Round that spine. Exhale. Drop that belly, inhale. And round that spine, exhale. Good, flatten through that back. Let's go into another balance pose. So let's lengthen up through our right leg and lengthen through that left arm. So we've got our bird dog right here. If it's not available for you to have your arm up, that is okay. You're still balancing with that back leg. We're going to go ahead and bring elbow to knee 6 times, or if you have that arm down, you're just bringing your knee in. Let's go ahead and bring this in for 6 and lengthen. Here's 5 and lengthen. Here's 4 and lengthen. Here's 3 and lengthen. Here's 2 and lengthen. And last one. Let's lengthen and hold. Inhale deep and exhale it out. Release the arm, release that leg. Very nice. Cat and cow. Drop that belly. Inhale. Round that spine. Exhale. Drop that belly. Inhale. Round that spine. Exhale. Flatten through the back. Let's take it to our other side. So bring our left leg up. Lengthen through that. If it's available to you, bringing that right arm up into that full bird dog. We're going to take elbow to knee 6 times or just knee in 6 times. Let's go ahead and take that here. Bring this in for 6 and reach. It's 5 and reach. It's 4 and reach. It's 3 and reach. It's 2 and reach. And last one, let's reach and hold. Inhale it here and exhale it out. Release the arm, release the leg, child's pose. Take ourselves back. Glutes go back to heels, lengthening through our arms. Very, very nice. Reaching our fingers towards the front edge of our mat so that we get that really good stretch. Ooh, good stretch through the back, through those arms. Very nice. And then let's go ahead and bring ourselves back up onto all fours. And we're going to go into our first downward facing dog. So let's curl our toes under, press our hands into the floor. We're going to keep our knees bent as we lift our tails to the sky. So go ahead and lift that tail up, lengthening through our spine first. Then relax that head, maybe nod that head yes, and shake that head no. Good, and now we can begin to pedal our feet, pedaling those heels down towards the floor, stretching through our calves, through the backs of our feet, through our Achilles, tendons, through those hamstrings, through those glutes. You can even exaggerate the glutes going side to side here if that feels good. You want more of like a hip stretch here too as well. And then dropping both of our heels down towards the floor, finding some stillness right here, breathing it. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's lift up on our toes, keep our heels high, and drop both of those heels over to one side. And then lift that back up center and drop our heels over to the other side. And then lift that back up center. And let's go ahead and walk our feet to meet our hands at the short edge of our mat. Right where our blocks are at. We're not going to use our blocks quite yet. We're going to allow ourselves to go into a ragdoll. I'm like, what is that name? We've got ragdoll right here. We're folded forward. We're letting our arms dangle. We're letting our feet press into the floor. Relax that head and neck. Relax that face. Very good. Let's take opposite elbow with the opposite hand. Make a frame for that head. Upper body now is very heavy, folded in half. Lower body is gripping into the floor, rooted into the floor. Feet are rooted. That head has been low, which is good. That's good. Good. Go ahead and release those arms. Let's go ahead and use those blocks now. So taking those blocks, hands are right there on those blocks. Let's inhale. Lengthen through our spine into a nice flat back, a tabletop, and then exhale, release. Now our head has been low. We're going to take it all the way up. So take this nice and slow. Let's inhale and sweep this all the way up. Let's exhale it around into a chair. Good. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale it, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Nice flat back. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale it around to chair. Inhale and lengthen this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Moving on. Let's keep our right foot forward and take our left foot back into a lunge. Let's have our left hand on the block, and you can have whatever height you want on that block, or you can have it on the floor. Or if you need a chair, if you need something even higher, then feel free to use a chair. We've got our hand and we've got a nice long lunge here. And let's go into a spinal twist in this long lunge. Good, we've got that nice spinal twist here, breathing into that. And bring this to center. Push that block out of the way, take that foot back to meet the other foot into a top of plank, strong top of plank. Let's go ahead and shift our weight forward, drop to the fronts of our knees, uncurl our toes, chaturanga, so taking that heart down to the floor. And then let's lift that heart up off the floor into that baby cobra. Curl our toes under, lift and press, downward facing dog. Breathe it here in this down dog. This is your recoup. This is your place of bringing yourself back into your recovery zone. That's what that is. Like, what is this? This is your rest right here, your downward facing dog. Oh, love that. Let's walk our feet to meet our hands into our standing forward fold, front edge of the mat. Let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen through the spine, nice flat back. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale it around a chair. Inhale and lift this up. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Let's keep our left foot forward. Take our right foot back into lunge. Right hand on block, on floor, on a chair, whatever height works for you, and spinal twisting to the left. And breathe. And bring this back to center. Let's take our foot back to meet the other foot into a top of plank. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes, take our hearts down, lift our hearts up. Curl our toes under, lift and press. Downward facing dog and breathe. Let's walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold. Let's go into those salutations again. So let's inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep our arms up. Exhale it around a chair. Inhale and lift. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Right foot's going to stay forward. Left foot's going to go back into lunge. Left hand on block, on floor, or on chair. Let's spinal twist over to the right again and breathe. Very good. And bring this back to center. Take that foot back to meet the other foot into top of plank. Let's shift that weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes, chaturanga, heart to the floor, heart lifts up off of the floor. Curl our toes under, lift and press, downward facing dog, and breathe. Walk our feet to meet our hands, standing forward fold. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale and release. Inhale, sweep our arms up. Exhale it around a chair. Inhale and lift it. Exhale, dive it down and over. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and release. Left foot stays forward. Right foot goes back into lunge. Right hand on block, on floor, or on chair. And spinal twist over to the left and breathe. And bring this center. Take that foot back to meet the other foot, top of plank. Shift our weight forward, drop to fronts of the knees, uncurl our toes. Chaturanga, heart down, heart lifts up. curl our toes under, lift and press, downward facing dog, and breathe. Good. Let's keep ourselves in this downward facing dog. Let's center our weight and go ahead and lift our right leg up, bend in our right knee, and drop our right heel over towards our left glute. So now we're doing a little bit of a hip opener and preparing ourselves for pigeon. Yay. Okay, let's bring this bent knee back to center and let's go ahead and sweep our leg through into a pigeon on the floor. And if you need to use support underneath that hip, feel free to do so. Oh goodness, I do so. You can be on those elbows, you can be all the way down. But breathing, try not to hold your breath here, especially if you're very tight. It can be easy when we are very tight in a lot of these poses to hold your breath. The breath is the key to releasing that tension. The breath is the key to getting oxygen to the muscles. Oxygen, of course, to the lungs, to the brain. Use that deep breath and especially that exhale to remove that breath. Good. Let's press ourselves halfway up. Let's reach our left hand back for our left foot if that's available to you and get a good quadricep stretch here. So kind of it's a rooster. So we're stretching through that back leg and that arm. This is almost, it is like dancer. So this is how it is when we're standing on that leg. This is the same stretch. It's the same stretch of that shoulder, that arm, and you've got that same opening, holding that foot. Good. And then let's go ahead and release that. If you've got that, you can move whatever. If you had support underneath you, let's curl that back toe under. We're going to press ourselves back up into a downward facing dog. So let's lift ourselves back up into that downward facing dog. Maybe pedal your feet here. That might feel good. Ooh, it does feel good. Pedaling that out. Breathing in this inversion. Yes, it's an inversion because that head is lower than our heart here. This is one of your easier inversions that you can do if you're like, I just need to have my head lower than my heart. Go into a downward facing dog. Let's find a little stillness here. And let's begin to center that weight. And now we're going to lift our left leg up. So go ahead and lift that left leg, bend that knee, and drop that heel over towards the glute, that right glute. Bring that bent knee back to center and let's sweep this through and take this into pigeon on the other side. And more than likely, you'll probably need support on the other side too. If you had it on one side, you might need it on the other. I do. Both sides are equally tight today. And you can be on your hands, on your elbows, or all the way down onto the floor. And breathe. And let's press ourselves halfway up. Let's reach that right hand back for that foot. And we've got that rooster or seated dancer. That could be it too. Oh, that feels good. And breathe, breathing into this. Good, let's go ahead and release that. Move that out of the way, curl our back toe under, let's press ourselves back up into a downward facing dog. So finding that down dog, and again, you can pedal that out. Pedaling out, the glutes, the hips, very nice. So we've got that down dog. Let's go ahead and walk our feet to meet our hands at this forward fold, front edge of our mat. Let's go ahead and inhale, sweep our arms up exhale it around into chair. Good, let's go ahead and hold here in chair. Bring our hands to our heart. Let's take our right foot back into a crescent. So we've got our back heel lifted. And let's take this into a nice crescent right here. So reaching up in this crescent pose. Let's drop our arms, drop our back heel. So now our back foot is out. Front heel is lined up with that back foot arch, warrior one. Warrior one legs right here. We'll try and go through all of our warriors here. Let's open ourselves up into our proud warrior, warrior two. Relax that face. Drop our back arm, take our palm up, peaceful warrior. Let's release our front leg and we'll tilt our hips back to the back of the room and take ourselves down into triangle. Feel free here to use a block if you want. Or that hand is on the shin or on the thigh. I love using the block in triangle, but I'm too lazy to grab right now. So opening this up, very nice. Good, let's bring ourselves back up, release those arms. Let's walk that back foot in, heel toe, like once and twice. So that now we've narrowed this up a little bit. Let's turn ourselves because we're gonna move into our warrior three, so our final warrior. And let's go ahead and take our arms. You can have them at prayer at your lower back, or you can have them out because we're gonna take this forward. Actually, let's go to prayer at the low back and let's go into pyramid because it's just, yeah, it's much simpler step. So pyramid means that both of our legs are straight, that we are hinged forward, back is nice and flat. And now we're going to begin to move forward into our balance warrior three. So that may be that your toe is touching and lifting, or maybe you're able to hold it up, or maybe you are able to have the toe touching the whole time, but the rest of your foot is lifted up off the floor. So listening to your body. But remember, whatever you do on this side, trying to do it the same thing on the other side. So if you know that you don't have as much balance on the other side, then go ahead and allow yourself to do a little bit of lifting and lowering on this side too, because you want to build strength for both sides. Let's go ahead and hinge this up into a standing staff pose. So bending through that knee, reaching up through that arm, or half staff, standing half staff. And then let's go ahead and release that leg down. Inhale and lift this up, nice mountain. Exhale it around to a chair. Good. Bring our hands to heart. Let's do everything that we just did. Let's go ahead and do it on the other side. So let's take our other foot back, left foot back, heel is lifted, and we'll bring this into a nice crescent. And this can be challenging because that heel is lifted. You're having to use that balance here. Good, let's go ahead and drop that heel and find our warrior one. So that front heel is now lining up with that back foot arch. And we've got our warrior one arms right there, warrior one. Good. And then let's go ahead and open this up into warrior two, our proud warrior. Relax that face. Drop our back arm, take our palm up, peaceful warrior. Release that front leg, and let's take it down into a triangle, opening that up. And again, feel free to use a block here for support or mobility help or stability help as well. And let's bring ourselves up, release those arms, walk the back foot in, heel toe, heel toe. Take those hands to prayer at low back, turning ourselves, take ourselves into our pyramid. Both those legs are straight, back is nice and flat. And let's begin to move into warrior three. So finding that warrior three, trying to do the same thing on this side that you did on the other side to find that equal strength. Good, and then hinging this into a half staff. Lifting that up. And then let's go ahead and release that leg down, inhale and lift. Exhale, dive it down and over, both feet back to a top of plank. Let's drop to those knees, back into a child's pose, lengthening through those arms, glutes go back to the heels. Or heels, yeah, glutes go to heels, yes. Heels go glutes, glutes go to heels. Good, hands by knees, press ourselves up, and let's take ourselves on our backs for our final relaxation. Grab whatever you need for that. If you have an eye pillow, regular pillow, blankets. We're gonna just take ourselves down. If you've got that eye pillow, you can place that over your eyes, over your face. Enjoy the heaviness in the darkness. Let's reach our fingers towards one end of the room. Reach through our feet, through our toes towards the other end, adding an inch or two to our height, lifting that low back up off of the floor. Really reach it here. Maybe rotate wrists or rotate ankles, whatever feels best for you. Good, lengthening through that. Let's take a big deep inhale. And with an exhale, allow yourself to sink, to settle. Allow those feet to fall open. Maybe those arms open off to the side and begin to slow everything down. Quiet everything. Relax the face, release the jaw. Maybe recognizing if there's any tension or tightness anywhere in any spots, places, and sending your breath to smooth that out, to warm that up, to quiet it. And still relaxing, let's go ahead and bend at our knees. Maybe tuck that tailbone under so that your low back can press into the floor. Drop both of your knees over to your most comfortable side, taking yourself onto your side for a breath or two here in yourself. And then let's slowly begin to bring ourselves up into a strong and supported seated pose. Feeling strong, strengthened, stretched. ready for the rest of the day today, or whatever you've got going on, lengthening up through our torso, through our spine. Let's go ahead and inhale and sweep our arms up. Bring our palms together and exhaling, eyes following our feet, our fingers, taking our chin to chest. Lift our head center, taking our fingers to forehead. As we leave today, let us think thoughts of truth. Take our fingers to our lips. As we leave today, let us speak words of love. Take our hands to our hearts. As we leave today, let our lives be a light of truth and a light of love, having hearts of compassion and mercy, knowing that we have not been given a spirit of fear, but the spirit of love and a sound and peaceful mind. Big, deep inhale and exhale. And again, big, deep inhale. And a big cleansing exhale. And have a wonderful rest of your day. And we will see you next time.